In these the last days, the end of the book, the spiral times, let's take a look. Hey, how you doing? Okay, so this video is about who is the bad guy in the last days, So Jesus said, by their fruits ye shall know them. So what are the fruits of the devil? Some people the people that don't get it think it's a morality contest. They think that the fruits of the devil are immorality. But that's inconsistent. At what time did Jesus ever sound like he thinks that anyone would be perfect or expects anyone to be perfect? According to the teachings of Jesus, everybody's a sinner. So everybody would be the bad guy because everybody's a sinner. It's not sin. It's not sin. Sin isn't the fruit of the devil. In this case, in an attempt to, when Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them, he meant how to recognize the bad guy in the last days. If you've ever read Matthew 24, everybody's going to be trying to pull you to their side of the argument, saying, God's over here in this church, God's over in this building, God's in this synagogue, God's over here. No, this is God. This is what you should believe. Everybody's going to, it should be a time where everybody's trying to convince you over to their side of the argument. And isn't that true? But yet you're supposed to stand in the holy place within. You're supposed to stand within because God's within. He's not in some church or something like that, And so that's one of the major morals of the story, is that we're supposed to recognize that. So if you look at Psalms and Proverbs, it goes a lot. It talks about talebearers. A talebearer is a tatty tale, we would call them nowadays. So one of the fruits of the devil, just like who does the Bible describe as the bad guy? As you read the Bible, the bad guy is because if you look at the books of Moses, it's when the people do something wrong, it's not that, because that's like a whole people. How do you it's not individuals so much. What does an individual look like when they're a bad person, that you're supposed to watch out for, And if you look through Psalms and Proverbs, it goes into lots of detail about that. They're talebearers, they're tattletales. It says they look around the corner and wait for you to sin or do something, and they go, aha, A-H-A, aha. And it says that many times, aha, cut. So they're people, they're accusers. Did you know that the name Satan means accuser? They're accusers, and aha, because you're not doing your holy work, your work within. It's an inward journey, it's an inward work, And if you're trying to point the finger at everybody, like Bob's songs, every time you point the finger, 3 more point back at you, It's not about pointing the finger, He who is without sin cast the first stone. In the last days, so I have another video about who the beast is. I feel like there's even everybody's like, oh no, the devil, the beast, Satan, it's all the same person. It's like, I don't think so. I think that it seems more like, if you look at the text, the actual scriptures and the context, and just look at everything, the bigger picture, those names are used at different times for different purposes, The beast of Revelations has many heads, many horns. It's obviously the leaders of the country, But the bad guy would also be the Prince of Air, it says at one point, The Prince of Air, I think that means the person that everybody's listening to, on TV and radio, and the signals going through the air, on YouTube and on just anywhere, the music, the news, It's also, the bad guys described as the majority, And it's also the people in power, because they wouldn't give you jobs. They're supposed to be in a position where they can either give you a job or not give you a job, give you money or not give you money. The people that have the wealth and have the power and have the microphone, and and many heads, many horns. They're either it's a bunch of BS. They're all connected. It's all war is a bunch of BS. Yeah. And with the advent of the Lion of Judah opening the seven seals, we see in the second seal that Hitler is the rider of the red horse. Of course, the rider of the red horse wanted a sword, a great sword. The sword was the spear of destiny that pierced the side of Jesus. And the reason Hitler is the rider of the red horse is because it's fascism, and fascism would play a big role in this. If fascism fits in perfectly with all the fruits of the devil, that's all fruits of fascism, and Hitler is definitely kind of like the most famous symbol of fascism, and so, and of course the name that everybody would have to have, the mark on the forehead and the mark in their hands. A lot of people are, it's a tattoo on your forehead. It's like, how come preachers don't read the actual Bible? When it says there's something in your forehead, that means in your thinking, and when something's on your hand, that means in your doing. If the mark's in your forehead and on your hand, that means you think it and you do it and you live it. It's a lifestyle, and 666 is a bad translation. They feel like 618 is actually a better translation, but there's a bunch of theories. They all involve the number 6. In the Kabbalah, we know that 6 is the Sephira of Tiferet, the sun. Because the sun's the center of the solar system. It's the center of the tree of life in the Kabbalah, in the Sephirot. And that's a beautiful thing when in balance and everything. But when that goes bad, I feel like it's 666 because it's like 6 to the power of 6, or 6 3-dimensional, or 6 it's like extra emphasis on 6, meaning narcissism. That's what I feel like it is, because it all has to fit. The fascism, the number 6, the morality policing, the aha, the tattletelling, all the things that they're supposed to do. Fascism is just the religion and especially the politics of narcissism. So to a narcissist, everything's a competition. They can't introspect, and because everything's someone else's fault. When you're with a narcissist, everything's your fault and nothing's their fault. They already know everything. They always have to have the higher ground, and even if they have to kind of go in their own little make-believe world to do it. So it's narcissism, and fascism, and these are the fruits of the devil.